Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. As here, so I have been gone for a while from BDO as I was traveling the lands between, aspiring to become as powerful as Let Me Solo Her, but I have failed miserably. But I did ended up with Rani though. Eventually, with her constant elegant nagging, I burned everything down as a Lord of Frenzied Flame. Also, just in case some of you doesn't know, you can now play BDO and Lost Ark together without getting the loading error. They finally granted the wish of a lot of AFK fishers and horse trainers such as myself. So my friends and I decided to go back to BDO to try out the new story, the new area.
Oh, you probably already picked up on this at the office, but this quest is a little secret between just the two of us. Got it?
Also Dracania season and get some of the rewards since they're giving out a lot of Shock 2 boxes this month. And upcoming changes to the central market prices is insane. So they have announced, but they say like it's subject to change, that the costume selling at 473 million would be 840 million now. There's going to be still a gap on that one before it reaches the max price, but the extraction for the crons would be from 420 to 621. So it means you roughly just need about 6 costume to tap a pen black star, or a Tet black star to pen. So like an attempt, by the way, it's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in BDO. Just a reminder on that one. So this is a huge change. You know, people could just buy a costume, they will be done for the whole week, and I think this might affect a lot of things in BDO market. So hopefully they are going to be pumping a lot of changes that are non-pay to win.
If you know what I mean.
But to their credit, they did indeed introduce a lot of changes, such as the quality of life changes for life skilling, where you can get new quests to get the scrolls for life skill mastery, increased contribution points so new players can get more nodes, and also CP for farming, reduction of item weight, and so on and so forth, including like the Valencia grind spot. But catching up after being gone for so long is hard as pronouncing worse than Chester chair sauce. But with that said, our topic today will be about catch-up. So the list that I have is not in any particular order. You might have done this one too before. So just make sure that you are playing at your own pace, you're having fun, and you're not pressuring yourself to do any of these or any activities at all that you're not enjoying. So number one is making sure that you are claiming all of the coupons and rewards that are being given out on events. So I have on my previous video showed how to get the app where you can remotely claim coupons, and also by logging in you could get like the rewards I mentioned before. You know, like there's a lot of Shock 2 boxes that are being given out this month. And also make sure that you are rolling your dices and make sure that you're using the arcanas that you get for free to land in, like the Kafra stone bundles, which you can also use to land on dices for extra rolls, and you can accumulate these ones. So basically you're gonna do is log in, get your rewards, do the BSA, and then collect these ones, accumulate it if you want to sell it, and then like just buy the gear that you would want so you can land on a comfortable AP spot. The next one is pretty obvious, and it's completing your seasonals. Now, they have released a guide called Season A to C, I am linking it down below, that the beginners could use to be able to get their Tuvala gears to pen and kind of like get a feel of what they need to do in the game. Just a reminder over here too, that when you're doing this, when you get your pen Tuvalas, make sure that you are saving enough stone to get some of the Naru gear once you timepiece out of that character, so that you would have enough for the Narchilian gear that you could put on another character. Now, the good thing about this one is it enables you to be able to grind at Road Sulfur Mines or Fogans or even just Nagas depending on your comfort level, and that would rake you in a lot of millions even just for an hour grinding. Or if you're like a weekend warrior like me, 2 to 3 hours in the weekend is what I do. So definitely hit this up. You get the rewards from the season, you'll be able to get the pen accessories if you haven't yet, and stacks if you're a veteran that you could use for enhancing, and I would say like a little bit gambling on the side, but always consider your loss before you go ahead and gamble everything. So now you know how to get the rewards, dailies, weekly, and also the events. And also you have enough gear to grind Valencia and equip another character with the good Nart gear. From this point, I suggest to plant your grinder and never leave there to save time. Now, you would hear a lot of players bring up cost opportunity, and it's basically just telling you to do the thing that earns the most money. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So as an alternative, I suggest to have a main grinder, alt grinder, and farmers that you could load straight up into the activities. So just to give you a better idea of what I mean, I currently utilize up to 14 of my alts, and the rest are just like energy pot exchangers. And number one is of course my sulfur grinder for my archaeologist map. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten it yet, so that's one thing that I'm grinding for. And my main one is at Gyfin, and I kind of alternate him from Gyfin into the Elvia realms if kind of like I got bored in Gyfin, or like if there's no spots available, or if there's some aggressive people over there, which happens. And then the second one are my alts. So I have one for Nuver, I have one for Cursed Kurum, because nobody finishes that one in the recent days. And then I also have one for Garmuth, one for Vel, one for Kazarka, one for Karanda. And you can see over here that I put in a runner title on them. So there are rifts that spawns at the desert, so I use my Nuver alt to fetch those ones. For Serendia, I do use my Kazarka alts to get those, and for Balenos, same thing. And then I also have one at Offintet that runs my Kamasilvia rifts. So now that you have that one set up, you have your seasonal, the Nerchilian gear for your alts, and you're able now to grind Valencia spots, which could rake you in a lot of money. You also now know how to claim the coupons and also the rewards. What I suggest is to make sure that you are just like casually going through the goals. It's easy to get overwhelmed and feel FOMO, and you feel that you are not playing enough, because you would see high-end players that have awesome gear, like Labraska, Fallen God, and you would see all of their gears are pen and all. I felt the same way too, but honestly, after I enhanced for my accessories, it didn't feel much fun, because I felt so rushed and all. The journey itself is the one that's rewarding. So what I did is I kind of come up with this little casual goal sheet that I have inspired by Vampire Survivors, and I put it in one by one on the things that I believe could kind of give that sense of accomplishment for new players. And one thing too is that you don't really need to spend money in order to accomplish these goals. So one is being a rewards expert, being able to watch out for coupons that are being given out also in Twitch drops. During those times you can get multiple memory fragments, some cron stones and all that you could use later on. And another is the ones that I've already told you about, is completing the seasons, going through the seasons, getting all of the materials that you would need, and from the level up rewards too, to convert your Penarus to Praetuvala, and then also getting your Narchilian gear. And after that one, just boosting yourself up to 61. So there are a lot of guides there to quest 261 and also grind 261, so whichever you prefer, you could follow up on that one. Unlocking your skills too is one essential thing to do. What I really recommend is just grind at Sulfur, or Nagas or Fogans, depending on what's open in the seasonals, and just try to get as much skill points as you can. There's ongoing buff events too that gives you additional percentage that really helps out. And with that, you're pretty much set. What you can do after that is getting your Tet Black Stars if you plan to get Pen Black Star enhancement through the J Hammers that they're giving out, or some of the crons too, and also for Kaposha accessories that you get through the level rewards. Full Tet accessories, they're super cheap right now. You could just buy it off after 1-2 weeks of grinding, or a month worth of grinding. You could have full Tet in about 2 months or so in the current market, for even for casuals. And also decide if you're gonna go DR or evasion. Now, one of the streamers that I watch by Septimus Prime has a good guide on this one, so I'm gonna link that one too below. And Jatina Pen Quest, and for the accessories and weapon and armor, you should explore too. I have guides for those ones too, if you want to kind of go on a guaranteed route. And this is just an alternative if you don't want to buy it. It's cheaper for the first weapon and 2 of the armors, and then the rest you could buy off. But if you want all of your name to appear in the weapon and armor, this is the path that you would take. And also after that, buying Vel's Heart for that additional 3 AP, and then working towards Nebraska and Fallen Guard. Like those two you can put aside, search it for the market to see the stats, and you would understand what I'm saying. So these ones I'm gonna keep simple. These are just like boosters that you could do afterwards. Of course, gaining your AP brackets, you could search for that one, and you would get the sweet AP bonus every time you hit a certain bracket. And then explore life skilling, buy a Logia from Balenos, and also if you want to go to the market, buy like the cheap duo ones. That would suffice for you at the beginning, and work towards getting your Manos gear if you enjoy life skilling. If not, then totally ignore that one and find one that you enjoy the most. For me, having a farm, like a 10 set farm is really good for me. I could get a lot of millions for it in a week. And also having a level 49 fisher for events such as the koi events, or kind of like the Marnie event that just happens, where every parchment is equivalent to 1 memory fragment and then also 1 hard crystal. So that really boosts you up, and especially if you're doing something else, that is really helpful. Now for my gradual targets. So the next one is getting your family fame to 8,000. This is through leveling up your characters. I did make a guide for this one if you want to explore it, but it really gives you a 1.5% tax benefit that is really good if you are trying to sell a lot of marketable stuff. Now the ecology points too is the one that you should aim for, and this is getting the beast knowledge whenever you kill a monster, and it could boost your item drop rate up to 20%. So if you're farming for rare artifacts and all, this really helps. Now the adventure journal, of course, is one thing that you need to accomplish, and canvassing your pen gear. There is also the Alustine journal that gives you a lot of Kafras if you want to do that, and also if you want to sell it, gives you a lot of money. 200 to 600 energy for the pot exchange. So each of your alt has different energy pool that you could exchange for pots for 50, 100, 150, and 200 that you could sell in the market for silver. And of course, increasing your CP. They boosted this recently on recent updates, so this really would help you out in getting more nodes and workers and having a node empire. And of course, having specialized artisan workers help on that one. So there are a lot of guides out there too that how to get the artisan workers, but that's least of your concerns right now. But the infinite potion now has weekly, so definitely go for that one so you can get your infinite potion. The lofty bed mountain, upgrade compass, and archaeologist map are the rare ones. Some people take this one for years, but this is one good target because Valencia now has the best grind spots for beginners. So you could start with the archaeologist map in sulfur mines and Pilaku jail, and then after that one you can get for the upgraded compass, but that was before Histria and Akhman. This is a totally different one, but your alts will be able to grind over there too, after you kind of boosted yourself in a bit. And also having an alt army, as I've shown in the previous one, that would really help you out without spending a dime. And lastly, some of the challenges that my friends and I have kind of invented, but it's totally up to you. You can make your own challenges, which make things fun if you're doing it with other people. And number one is no gambling for a year. Of course, this is the most difficult one, as a lot of people in my group have been broke because of this. And then the next one is try not to quit and cry. There's a lot of times where some of my friends would really rage, and even me, and we would just go on a rant. We would quit, oh, I'm gonna quit BDO, and then we would go back the next day, I love BDO. And then the next one is my name is what, having some accessories and also your gear having your name on it. So when you enhance it, and if you're the ones that got it to pen, your name is gonna be appearing on that one. And then of course the Don't Be Heartless, collecting the 3 hearts that is required. One is for the Vel's Heart and 2 Garments Heart for your awakening sub weapons. So that's a goal. The 30k quest is one of the things that you could do without even having buffs or anything, just questing with all of your alts. So that's one thing too. And you could get the God of Knowledge title on this one if you get your knowledge up to 6k. So that's one thing you could reach out to. And there's a lot more things that you could do, such as building the characters, getting your horses, but I'm gonna stop over here. So here's the overall picture. Again, the links are down below. So there's a lot of things that you can do in BDO that doesn't require you to buy those costumes, aside from crowning, of course, for like Pen Blackstar, which is a good thing. But like you could enjoy the game without spending a dime, and that's one thing that I'm currently doing. I'm still playing Elden Ring, I'm still playing Vampire Survivors, and also one of the base building games that I just like found out, like the Timberborn, because of beavers. You know what I mean. So like, totally for me, enjoy the game. If you're a casual, just like build up on these ones. You can have BDO as a side game or your main game, depending on how you would want to play it. And of course, if you want to explore like Node Wars and all of the other PvP stuff, there are a lot of guides out there and videos out there. And definitely like, enjoy the game, don't burn out. And I hope that this has helped you out in any way. And as always, guys, like, I'll see you guys on the next video.